Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 29 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I am hanging out and I lost my Boots of the Traveler. How'd I lose them? Well, they basically just broke. Durability, they died. They got attacked by one too many zombies and decided, you know what, I have no more durability left, I'm going to break. And that kind of made me sad. I'm like, oh, I love my Boots of the Traveler. Now I have to go make another pair. Why don't I start focusing on a way to not have to worry so much about having to make another pair in the future? I'd like my Boots of the Traveler to not break anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and work on a system for customizing some enchantments. That's basically what I want to do today. I want to have, there's actually a couple different ways we could approach this, and I'm going to work on a little bit of both, and we're going to kind of see which ones we like better. So there's a couple different ways we can customize enchants. There's actually several, but let's take a look at what we've got here in our Thaumonomicon. Let's see. So Thaumonomicon, where are you at? There you are. Cool. In the Thaumonomicon, have I discovered, I think it might be under Artifice, maybe not. It doesn't look like I've discovered it yet, but Thaumcraft adds a way to customize enchants. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of research and prepare for that. The other thing that we can do is work with a little bit of Bibliocraft and a little bit of the open blocks that we've already got, and maybe even a couple other mods to help out with it. So maybe what I'll do is I'll focus on that method first, and then I'll do some research, and then we'll focus on the Thaumcraft method, and we'll decide which way we like doing our enchants better. That sound like a plan? I thought so. All right, so let's take a look at what we need to do. So first off, we know how to enchant things with our favorite mod here, Open Blocks. It's pretty cool, right? So we've got an automatic enchantment table. We're pumping in this reinforced tank of liquid experience. It's going straight into here. We're getting our liquid experience from down in the basement. Oh, I can barely handle not having Boots of the Traveler anymore. It's killing me. I have to go make them like right now. All the way down here, and I'm actually doing a little bit of an experiment. You can see here that I've got this thing here, right? So I noted the time, and I noted how much of these essence berries I had at, according to my time frame here, right? It was like around 12:17, I had 24 of them. By 1:07, 50 minutes later, I had 55. So I got about 31 of these essence berries in about a 50-minute time period. Now that's without having this thing hooked up. Then I hooked it up and I'm starting the timer again. So I'm going to let a little bit of time here pass. We're going to see how much of these I have, but it looks like I've already gotten 20 in about the last 10 minutes. So I get the impression that this lamp is really helping to boost our experience output here. I think we're already discovered that for sure for the most part. We will automate hooking that up this episode once we've got a solid amount of this stuff. I'm going to see what I can do with it. So let's get prepared to have a little bit of fun with this cool and nifty mechanic here. So what I might want to do first is make sure that I can enchant things. Well, that's not a problem. We're already able to enchant stuff. Right. So what I want to be able to do is get those enchants off of things and turn them into books. Now, I think I'm going to be doing that with the auto disenchanter. Okay, this guy comes from Mind Factory Reloaded, and he's not too hard to do. Okay, so I'm probably going to get one of those, and we're going to start being able to take things off a book. So let's, before we do that, though, get ourselves another pair of Boots of the Traveler. So what I'm going to do is, off camera real quick, just prepare everything I need, and then get myself a pair of Boots of the Traveler. So I need some Iter and some Volatus. That doesn't sound too bad. I might even have a little bit of that stuff around here. I've got a decent amount of Vol. Okay, cool. Back in a few moments, and we'll get another pair. Alright guys, I'm back. So one of the first things I want to do is get myself the following. If I throw something with magic in here, I need 2 magic each, and then in addition to that magic, I'm going to throw in 1 of the rotten flesh per 2 magic. I should get myself some magic tallow. Cool. There's of course going to be some extra of the wood aspect in there, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Excellent. Even more magic tallow. Cool. Let's get this thing cleared out. Oh, big old mess. I'm going to have taint problems before I know it. Alright, and then we'll just get ourselves a bucket. Perfect. Alright, so that's step 1. I wanted to get myself some of this magic tallow. Why? Well, if we take a look in here, we can see that magic tallow can make me some candles. I get 3 of them for 2 magic tallow and a string. Nice. Let's go request ourselves some string. So, I'll just get a bunch of it, because I don't know how much I need. And there we are. So let's do that. Now, what we can also do with these candles, by the way, is dye them if we really want to, because that's cool. Just add a dye to it, and it'll get any color you want it to be. Cool. I like it. So I guess let's get a couple different colors here. I like blue, so let's go with blue. Blue candles, sure, why not? Red, how about rose? No roses, really? Nothing? Okay. Let's try... Do I have any orange dye? Oh yeah, I've got a few oranges, that'll be good. And I don't know what other colors would be cool. Yeah, I just don't really have too much, do I? How do I get cyan, blue, and green? Cactus? I don't really feel like making up that stuff. That's enough for now. We'll get orange and blue. That sounds like a good couple colors. So let's make this stuff, shall we? Simply this and that. Cool. Plenty of candles. We'll make like half of them blue and half of them orange. How's that sound? Why not? Nice. Alright, rest of this junk, you know where to go. Back to the sorting system. Blue, you, cool. I've also got myself some zombie heads and some creeper heads from some of the enemies I've been killing around here for the last little while. So why do I have this stuff? Well, if we take a look in our Thaumonomicon, we'll discover the following information about doing Infusion here. Now, remember, there's instability that comes with Infusion, right? And basically, if you know, some of the more difficult things that you need to craft might get knocked off the pedestal or destroyed or cause people damage or anything. But you can reduce these effects by keeping the entire infusion structure as symmetrical as possible, which we have been doing. We've been doing that, right? And then you can place all kinds of occult paraphernalia around the altar, things like candles, skulls, crystals, etc. And they will have effect on reducing instability. So let's actually look at that. Let's grab ourselves some crystals too. I should have a bunch of those actually laying around, so that might not be a bad idea to actually grab that. Let's grab some crystals, and we can make some crystal clusters. So let's grab like, I don't know, 10 of each color. Just because I've got so much of them, I don't mind. And this is just going to help to make our infusion crafting a little less dangerous. It's not going to be guaranteed, but it's going to be a little less dangerous. Now, do I have the research for crystal clusters, or is it even research anymore? I'm thinking, let me see, crystal clusters. I don't know. Let me take a look here. Ah, there we go. Workbench shaped bliss recipe. So you can have any kind of crystal cluster that you want, and you can have multiple crystal colors by going like that. So let's go with that. Clusters, huh? Let's make one of each. So if I wanted to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 8? Could I do that? Yeah, I think that would work. So let's get one of each. That sounds like a cool plan. I don't have a regular old crafting table here. All right, we'll do this. One of each of these. And we'll go with then 2 of the multicolors. That sounds like a good plan. Right? So that's can go over there. We got some of this stuff going on. And order shards. Cool. That looks like it's pretty good. And then I guess we can do, I don't know if this is shapeless or not, if it matters where I put the crystals, but we're going to find out in a minute here. I want 2 each of the mixed. Cool. That looks good to me. All right. Let's drop that on the floor. And we can go start placing the stuff around. So just place it kind of nearby. Just a bunch of different things can go all over the place. So we can kind of do that. We'll do this. This looks pretty good. And then we'll do some crystal clusters. I'm thinking you guys can be kind of here. How cool does that look, huh? I like these crystal clusters. They look nice. This guy, maybe one of these in each corner here. And again, this is all in the name of lower chance of instability occurring when we do our crazy cool stuff. And now for the heads. We've got 14 of them. All right, so where could I put these? That would make things look pretty good. Maybe I'll put one zombie behind each of these. And I think they just have to be within 10 blocks. I don't think it said exactly in the Thaumonomicon, but, you know, kind of, let's actually try and make this look a little bit stable, huh? How's this? Like that, so that they're facing out instead of just randomly placed. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, you know what might be cool too? Have a creeper head in the middle of them. Yeah, I like that. I like that mostly because that's how many creeper heads I have. So this should overall reduce the amount of instability chance there is. Now, it's not going to completely eliminate it, but we'll definitely have a better chance of not having a problem. So plenty of Volatus, plenty of Iter. Let's get ourselves another pair of boots. Cool, right? So lesser chance for instability. Now, with these things here that we've got going on, so let's see, Artifice, Boots of the Traveler. I mean, they already have a negligible amount of instability, so we're not going to get a huge amount of improvement off of this by making these things. But trust me, some of the more advanced stuff that we're going to make definitely has higher chances of instability. And these, stability improvements around the altar are going to be a huge, huge help. Cool? All right. Let's get ourselves some awesome boots, and then we're going to go enchant them, and we're going to cross our fingers that we get a good enchant. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll find out. There we go, last of the stuff. Nice. Hooray! I missed you, Boots of the Traveler. Oh, so much better. I do have to eventually get a door on there. Everybody's starting to make fun of me in the comments for not having built a door yet. And I'm like, I know, I'm terrible. Put all this junk away for a minute. That looks good. Cool. So let's go down and see what kind of enchants we can get on this, if we're lucky. Alright, cross your fingers, guys. Here goes nothing. Projectile protection and unbreaking 3. Not what I was hoping for, to be honest with you. I could have hoped for a little bit better. So let's go and improve that. Let's get ourselves a couple things. I'll be right back when I've got the stuff I need. Alright guys, so I wasn't thrilled with the results of my enchanting of my boots. So what I'm going to do is get some raw plastic here. Hopefully that's enough. And pop over to this thing and get ourselves some plastic sheets. And hopefully I've got everything now to make myself... Oh, okay, I thought I did, but let's see what I'm missing. Something's just not stacking, maybe. Oh, right, I have to make books first. Haha. I always forget to make, one of the components here. That's okay. I'll be derpy. There we go. 21 bucks. That looks good. Now can we do this? Yes, we can. Cool. Alright, so the auto disenchanter. What's it do? It disenchants things. And it does a good job of it, too. We're going to need some power hooked up into here. So let's see. Hardened energy conduits. Let's get all 4, though I have a feeling I'm going to need a little bit more of them. I don't think 4 is going to be quite enough. Let's see. Well, you know what? Maybe it will be. Let's see. If I tapped in right over to here, I mean, that's really close. It just means maybe I want to move this thing. Maybe I don't really need this little buffer anymore. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to say I don't need this buffer anymore. Does that sound like a plan, guys? All right, cool. See ya later. Adios. Let's get rid of this thing. I'm actually going to clear out most of this. So let's clear the whole thing out of here. What do you say? All right. Let me rearrange this stuff so that the only storage... That was really just temporary storage anyway. So... let's set it up now so that the only storage we've got is going to be the storage that's in our area downstairs, that tank storage thing. Let's just clean all this out. This looks good. This looks good. So I'll still be able to do this. There they are. Reinsert this pneumatic servo here. There we go. Ignore redstone. That thing will still hook up just fine. And we'll run this thing over here like this. Cool. So just a little bit more open space now. Cool. So with that in mind, we should be able to set up, maybe right over here somewhere, kind of my auto disenchanting system. That look cool? And I might even want to hook up an auto anvil. So let's get one of those real fast. Let's get an anvil going. So a regular old anvil is like that, and then an auto anvil is a little extra iron. So I'm going to need a total of 5 and 9 iron. So let's just get 4 blocks. And redstone will get 1 block. So we'll get an anvil. Did I do something wrong here? There it is. Okay. And then we'll get upgraded to an auto anvil. Cool. Let's put this auto anvil over here. Does that look like a nice spot? Sure it does. Let's do this then. Okay, that should kind of do. Only problem is this tank, when I stand on it to donate experience, isn't going to go into that tank downstairs. Maybe I'll set up my donation piece downstairs, over by my other tank. That'll probably be good. Okay, so that'll do. So these guys can both pump into here, and then we can have both an experience bank inside the auto anvil as well as inside the auto enchantment table. Okay, that'll do. I'll put a cover on that to make it look better in a moment. Let me just reconfigure this guy so that I can donate experience by maybe standing right in here. That sounds cool. And we'll put the tank here for me to stand on, and the grate here. And then we can put our pneumatic servo right in there and configure this thing to pull experience out. So that way, whenever I want to donate experience, I just do it here. Cool? Okay. And then I just stand on this guy, and it should work no problem. Awesome. How's my experience doing in here, by the way? So it's been almost 40, well, maybe half an hour, and we've got like well over 2 stacks. Nice. All right. So this lamp's definitely helping these things to grow faster, based on my testing. You know, not exclusive and crazy testing, but enough to make me say, yeah, it's probably working pretty well. Cool. All right. I can't necessarily fit in there, so it needs to be 3 blocks tall, because that does add a little bit of a block height to it. No biggie. Okay, so now we've got the auto anvil going. We've got the auto disenchanter ready to be hooked up. Let's hook this up with, let's see, where do I have a power line here that I could tap into? There's got to be something nearby, right? All right, I had a feeling that was inside my house. So let's do it. I might need to make a few more of these hardened things, but we'll see. 2. I'm sure I'm going to need more. All right. Yeah, let me go craft a few more of these, and I'll be back in a minute. Now that I've got better resource control, I think we'll be in good shape. We'll do it right here. That looks good. We'll run it over to that way. Okay, back in a moment. Alright guys, so I've got my hardened energy conduits. I've got this guy set up looking good. There we go. Let's hook this up. Let's do it actually down a little bit, just so I can have like a nice flat terrain here if I want. That looks cool. All right, so auto disenchanter's ready. It's got power. How does this thing work? It's really easy. Put books in the book slot, right, like so, and then put any item you'd like to disenchant in the slot right here, like so. And it's going to slowly but surely do some work, and we'll go ahead and rip the enchants off the boots of the traveler. Now here's the downside. You ready? Doing this will damage the book. Or the boots. It'll damage the item that it's disenchanting. So when this happens, it's going to hurt a little bit. I'm going to set this to repeat mode, by the way. Yes, because I would like to automate this a little bit. Let's get some item ducks. That sounds like a good plan. And let's see how well this works. So let's get 10 of them, and we're also going to request a chest. Just for now, we're going to store this as a chest, but we're probably going to have to do some fancy stuff in a bit. I have a couple neat ideas for ways I really want to automate this as much as possible. Oh, you know what I want to while I'm here, just for fun? A pneumatic servo. 1. Thank you. So let's get this stuff stored in a chest next to it. So we'll do this to here. Pneumatic servo. And we'll say, let's see, what's in there now? So we got the enchanted book. Cool. Now notice that the boots of the traveler are staying in the top section here because they still have another enchant on them that can be pulled off. So let's set this guy to ignore redstone signal, and it should pull the book out, and once there's a free slot here for another enchanted book to land, it's going to go ahead and run the disenchanting process again. Cool. So we got Unbreaking 3. Nice. I like that. Now what should happen when we do this is we should get another one of these guys here. I wouldn't mind having another cover. I need to have more of those things around my base. That would be neat. There we go. Cool. Now what should happen now is, because we got that last of the enchants off there, we got our Boots of the Traveler, enchanted book. So we've got everything in here. What I'm thinking is, what would be cool is to set this up like so. Let me get another pneumatic servo guy. 1. And we're going to install this here on this side. Cool. Just thinking out loud here. Come on now. Let's put this guy here. And we're going to set this up to whitelist enchanted books. So only enchanted books are going to be allowed in here. We're also going to tell it to ignore metadata and ignore NBT. So I forget which one enchants are stored on, but there's 2 ways to store data on an item, metadata and NBT. I'm pretty sure enchanted books are NBT, but whatever. If you don't care and you always want enchanted books to show up in here regardless of what enchant is on there, you'll want to set these guys to ignore. If you want to say only projectile protection 4 isn't allowed in here and no other enchanted book is allowed in here, you can tell these guys to use NBT and metadata, and that would probably work. So by doing that, we make it so that only enchanted books are allowed in there, not any items. What I'm thinking next is another chest, but let's get some iron. 8 of them to be exact, so that I can have an iron chest next to it. And as a matter of fact, I should probably swap this. So we'll probably do this now, but let's do... So I'll probably want the iron chest to store the enchants, and the wooden chest to store the items that got enchanted. So you go there, and this thing should still retain his setting. Oops. Yep, Z, enchanted projectile there, so we don't have to reconfigure that. And we'll put another item duct here without any rules about what's allowed to go on there, and we're in good shape. Cool. Let's just get ourselves another cover, make things look pretty. You know, I'm trying, guys. I'm not the best builder in the world, I know that. But I try and make things look a little neat. So all of our enchanted books should go in here anytime we enchant. So now we're free to enchant these again, these Boots of the Traveler. Hey, let's go to town. Well, don't have quite enough experience to do that. So what we can do is go downstairs and take a look at our little setup down here. So what we got? Oh yeah. Lots of these things. I am going to go out on a limb and say we absolutely don't have anything to worry about. Where did you come from? I don't know. You know what I should set up? It's a little bit of protection to make sure I'm safe. Alright. So now we should have gotten some liquid experience up here, and if we're lucky, it didn't make its way up yet. Alright, we'll give it a minute. But we should see some experience making its way up here. Come on, liquid experience, let's go. Okie dokie then. Where'd you all go? Let me see what happened to this stuff. It must have gone somewhere. Alright, I must have been a derp. Looks like I put the essence berries inside the vacuum hopper instead of that thing. Now we're talking. So let's see, we're getting our liquid experience here. It's flowing in, it's flowing up, and it's making its way up here, where it should have made its way eventually into the auto enchantment table. We got protection 4. Less exciting. Alright, I'm not liking this at all at this point. So let's consider some other options. I'll be back in a moment. So a little bit of research later, and I just discovered research. Oh yeah, this is cool. It's under here under enchanting, I guess, huh? Okay, this is probably, all right, Infusion enchantment. All right, if you have Thalmic Tinker installed, I guess it comes down here under Infusion enchantment. There's other ways to enchant things with Thalmic Tinker, I guess, but that's cool. We'll go with Infusion enchantment. So here's how you do this, all right? It's pretty cool. Basically, you use the Infusion table. You place whatever item you want to be enchanted in the center, and then you place items around it to empower the enchantment. So, for example, if we wanted to get the Repair enchant, which is definitely something I'm going to want to have on these boots, we're going to need an anvil and some Salus Mundus. Remember, Salus Mundus requires either an ethereal essence and a shard, or you can go with a couple of mana beans and a shard. Okay, so there's basically two ways you can go about getting that. Remember, just the downside of Ethereal Essence is you either have to destroy a aura node, or you have to go with killing wisps, which are pretty hard to find. So we're probably going to want to come up with a way to farm some mana beans, but we'll get to that shortly. All right, so these are different ways. So if you wanted, for example, haste on your boots, which I definitely also want, you're going to want some Nitor and some Salus Mundus. And you're also going to, of course, have to have different things. Now, also, if you want to have higher levels of haste, for example, haste 1, you can see the items are the same, but the cost in terms of the aspects are different. So they're usually about double. So 8, 4, and 8, 16, 8, and 16, and then what do we have? There's 24, 12, and 24. All right. So to get up to haste 3 requires 3 times as many aspects as haste 1 did. And you can only put them on one level at a time. So you can't just immediately put haste 3 on your boots. You have to put on haste 1, and then put on haste 2, and then put on haste 3. That's the way we got to do it with Infusion Enchantment. So it's definitely a bit of effort. But then again, if you're thinking about it, it's definitely a lot better than just the random hit or miss chance that we had before. So you can see there's all kinds of cool enchantments that we can put on here. We can get up the fortune, we can get the powers for the bows and flame and infinity, all kinds of neat stuff. So I want to work on my boots, and I would like them to have repair. So for that, we're going to need some Fabrico, some Order, some Percantio. That all seems pretty easy to get. And we're going to need some Salus Mundus and an anvil. So let's get them going, shall we? All right, so let's get a couple things that we're going to need here. Not you, that's for sure. There we go. You. So we're going to need some Order. Let me see, is it iron that has Order on it? I think iron has Order on it. And then we also needed Fabrico. For that, we can request a bunch of wood, because I'm pretty sure crafting tables have Fabrico on them. Okay. We're also going to need an anvil and a shard or two. So, and we're also going to need some Percantio, which we've got by way of Greatwood logs. So we're good there. Okay. So let's get some shards. Doesn't matter which one we get, so I'll get fire shards, because that's what I happen to have the most of. That should be cool. And let's get just, you know what, let's get a bunch of blocks of iron. All right, so we've got all this cool stuff here. Let me see, is it right that, yeah, there's Order on iron ingots. Cool. There's also a lot of metallum, but that's okay. I never scanned you, but that's all right. Let's get 1, 2, and then we'll get ourselves another anvil. Funny, I just made one of these. Oh well, we're making another one. And we can grab any 2 mana beans. They don't have to be the same, by the way. They can be 2 different mana beans. It doesn't matter. All right. So what I'm going to do is put mana beans in here and a fire shard, and that'll get me the Salus Mundus that I need. And we're going to want some crafting tables. That should get us the Fabrico that we need. All right. So let me cook up you, and how much Order did I need? Order shards are another option. There's a couple things that have Order on them, but I need 10. All right, that shouldn't be a problem. 10 Order, and then some Greatwood logs. I needed 8. And while I'm not low on Greatwood logs, I should consider growing them. So why don't we go grab a Greatwood sapling, which I think I've got one of, and let's go plant it outside so that we can have more Greatwood logs show up at some point. Right here sounds like a nice enough spot. That thing will grow in a little bit of time. We could also make something to help it grow. Maybe I should consider doing that too, because there's something else we're going to want to do. All right, I'll be back in a minute once all this stuff cooks down. All right, guys, we're back. So let's give this a try. Hopefully I did everything that I needed to do. We're going to activate the enchant. Now, the other thing that I didn't mention is it's going to drain some experience from you. So actually, let's knock this off, because I didn't have experience ready on me. Let's go get some. If we take a look in here, we'll see that part of the enchantment is actually going to request experience from the player. So for repair 1, I need to have 6 levels on my character before this will work. So I need to go get some experience. Luckily, I've got some. Hooray! There's a barrel downstairs with a bunch of it. Let's go down here and see what's up. So it looks like most of our experience is cleared out. It's probably sitting where it belongs. You've finished up with all your stuff. You're doing good. We'll just get a stack of this stuff. We'll get ourselves enough experience to be level 6. I mean, we can just keep going at this. It doesn't matter, because remember, we can always just stand on the grate and convert it into liquid experience for later. Hooray! That's cool. I like that. All right, off we go. Dun, dun, dun. Now let's try this, okay? You ready? We're going to do it again. This time without derping so much. So boots go in the center. And go. What happened? Did you knock off the Salus Mundus? Where did that go? Alright. Did I lose my Salus Mundus? Maybe I have to make some more. Alright, I'm going to make some more real quick. Alright, here goes nothing. So see how it's stealing experience from me? My experience levels are going down. There we go. And now it's going to pull in the Infusion enchantment stuff. So all the essences are going. The aspects. And then once those have finished, you should pull in the items. The anvil and the Salus. Remember, try and keep it balanced. Cool. So now we've got boots that have the repair 1 enchant on them. Awesome. If I want to repair 2, I do the exact same thing again. But I don't think I'm going to do that right now. Let's instead do one more of these enchantment setups. Let's grab over here with you a hoe, a thaumium hoe. And we're going to put that in here. And we're going to need the following items. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm pretty sure I've got everything I need, so let's go to town. So we're going to get some of the, I think that's meadow, some herba, and some terra aspect. And this thing here is going to create us the Hoe of Growth. The Hoe of Growth is awesome, and it's something that, oh boy, diamond. There you go. See? Got knocked off. The order shard might have gotten knocked off too. Either that or it got absorbed. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, it did get absorbed, so we're cool. Hooray, Hoe of Growth. So this thing is cool. What it does is the following. And it's actually really good. And I probably should have been, if I was smart, enchanted this thing with my thing. But let's go do it now and see what happens. So one of the things about the Hoe of Growth is it can only accept 1 enchant. 1 enchant is the only thing possible. Let's donate some experience levels here and convert some more essence berries. So I want to get level 3 on it. What's up, zombie hanging out in my blackout curtains? Cool. Alright, you go in here. Autonomous activator. And we have to wrap up the episode here. Unfortunately, we're pretty close to a wrapping up point, but there we go. Got the experience stored. That should all wind up here eventually. And of course, some of the experience is going towards the auto anvil as well, so let's get the Hoe of Growth enchanted. This is actually a good one to enchant because the only thing it can accept is repair. So hopefully we'll get repair 2 out of it, but maybe we'll get 1. We'll see. Maybe I just don't have quite enough experience in there yet. We'll wait. So what's it do? Well, number 1, first and foremost, is it acts like a regular old hoe. But it can actually, clear stuff out in a larger area. If we take a look at the Thaumonomicon entry, we'll see. Artifice. Hoe of Growth. Very cool. So 3x3 to till fields, but it also acts like bone meal when you right-click on it. And it can also bone meal certain things that other things can't. Oh, good. My greatwood tree grew. Wow, that thing grew fast. Look at that. Nice. And it grew really tall, too. So we're going to need this Hoe of Growth, actually, probably for next episode, because we're going to want to do something that's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to need the Hoe of Growth for it. So for now, though, unfortunately, we have hit the wrapping up point. So what I'm going to do is wrap up the episode here, and we'll be back next episode to work on a couple other nifty gadgets. So there's another Thaumcrafter 2 item I want to make. We want to continue along with our auto enchantment machines. I'm going to leave my machine downstairs running. Let's see how I'm doing with herba. I might need to refill that thing. We're doing all right still. We've still got about 16 herba left in here. We're going to have to refill it soon, but I'll take care of that off camera. All right, for now, guys, Direwolf20 signing off. Like I said, hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll be back for more of this next episode. I want to get more of those mana beans so that I can do more custom enchanting, because I've never been a fan of the way the enchants are just so random, and you have to just, 30 levels is a lot of experience. Even with all the automation I've set up, 30 levels is a lot of experience. So it kind of stinks having to, not have any kind of input on it. And I know 1.7 changed that a little bit so that you have a little bit more input, but still. I like having it all set up. So next episode, we'll work on mana beans. I do want to try and automate them as much as I can, because one thing that's cool about mana beans is they grow in every flavor of aspect. So every aspect that exists in Thaumcraft is represented in a mana bean. And we can get lucky and eventually have like a fully automated Essentia setup. And we're going to go and work towards that next episode. It won't be done next episode, but it's something we're going to work towards. All right, guys, take it easy.